Hi, I'm back with another topic. You may notice I'm not in my usual setting today. I'm actually out of town, but I set a deadline for myself and I'm sticking to it. So, this time around, I would like to talk about giving up junk food and getting through the cravings, specifically sugar cravings. But a lot of these things will apply to basically any kind of urges, like if you prefer salty over sweet, then you could probably apply this to your life too. Hopefully, at least. Willpower is very important here in this aspect of changing your eating habits because if you grew up like most Americans my age did, then you probably drank a lot of sodas growing up and drinking a lot of juice and candy bars are a regular part of your life. Then you're probably addicted to sugar whether you realize it or not. So um, cutting that out of your life is basically giving up an addiction. Well, not basically, it is getting over addiction. If you've been eating highly processed foods for a long time, like most of us have our entire life, we've eaten things out of boxes and packages, and you want to stop doing that and start eating real food, then when you stop eating those highly processed foods, you will have cravings. And you will rationalize with yourself like an addict does, oh, I'll just have a tiny little piece of cake, or I'll just have one Oreo. But this is where you've got to resist. You've got to grab the reins of yourself and take control and say, no, I'm not eating that. Because once you eat one Oreo, it's just one Oreo, I might as well have two. Okay, after one more, I'll stop. Okay, after the next one, I'll stop. You never actually stop. You get through a whole row of Oreos. And it's much, much easier, and it takes much less willpower to eat no Oreos than it takes to just eat one Oreo. If I see someone eat one Oreo, put the box back in the cabinet, I'm like, wow, that dude is disciplined. Because that is so much harder than just not even buying the Oreos in the first place. I would tell myself things like, I don't want this. I don't want this honey bun. I don't want to eat a honey bun, but my mouth wants to taste a honey bun. And I've got a brain, and I know that that honey bun will do me no good. It will slow me down from reaching my goals, and I don't want it. And that is where my power to resist these temptations comes from. I know what it does to my body. I know what I want, and that is not it. I don't want it. My mouth does. It just tastes good in your mouth. It's got a nice texture, and that is it. Past that point, after you swallow it, it does nothing good for you. And after the 1 minute that it takes to eat a honey bun, the pleasure is over. It's done. And guess what? You want more sugar right after that. So instead of having a just one mentality, which I think is setting yourself up for failure, especially if you are where I started, no 500-pound person is going to have just one of anything. It just doesn't happen. That's not the kind of person that gets up to 500 pounds, is a just one kind of person. Even if you're 50, 60 pounds overweight, realize that you're there because you eat too much. And it's that simple. You can't get fat without eating too much. And these empty calories in these processed foods and these super refined sugars, they have no satisfying factor to them. So you're filling up on these foods that come in boxes, and if you look at the label, you will see 0% your daily recommended intake of calcium, 0% your daily recommended intake of iron, 0, 1 gram of fiber. You need 38 of those a day if you're a dude. You're not getting anything that your body actually needs to function. And then you may wonder, why do I feel bad all the time? Or why am I always so tired? It's because you're feeding your mouth and not your body. With that being said, I think a good thing to do, instead of just stop eating things that are sweet, cold turkey, is to replace the bad things that taste sweet with the good things that taste sweet. That's exactly what I did. And I still eat things that are sweet every day, 2 or 3 times a day, 5 times a day if it's a holiday. And the things that the good things that are sweet that I'm talking about are fruit. If you are addicted to sweets, I think the best thing for you to do is to replace your habitual refined sugars with fruit. For example, if you wake up and have a couple donuts with your coffee in the morning, find fruit that you like with your coffee. And I'll admit I can't think of any fruits that go well with coffee, but hey, you just got to get used to some things. Okay, it's not easy. You've got to get used to some things, and you've got to deal with getting through the cravings, and you've got to deal with, oh, I can't have my donuts anymore in the morning. You've got to get over that. You're gonna die. You've got to get over that. So have your bowl of berries. After a week or two of being in control and giving your body what it needs, instead of giving into these cravings that your mouth is telling you that you need, you will no longer want those things. Your body, after just a little while, pretty quickly your body learns, oh man, let me tell you, those apples you've been eating, they are so good, dude. They got some fiber in them. They got vitamins we need up in here. They are good. You should eat one of those today, instead of your mouth yelling at you, oh man, it's time for a Twinkie. Give me a Twinkie. Your mouth will shut up after a while, and it'll learn to love apples too, because it hasn't had these refined sugars in a while, and your mouth will forget why it even liked them in the first place. It will think, oh man, an apple straight out of the fridge, juicy, crunchy, sweet, little tart, that's so good. Even your mouth will want them after a week or two. And the pleasure you get eating something that you know in your head is going to actually serve you after you swallow it is so much better than just the momentary, this is so good of a Pop-Tart or whatever. And keep in mind, while you're struggling to adjust to this change, because there is that transition period that does suck, and that's what I'm talking about, why you have to take control and suck it up. And you've been bombarding your mouth with these salty, fatty, sweet foods that are engineered by scientists, by the way, to fire off the pleasure centers in your brain to keep you addicted to it. And that's something also that I want to talk about someday. Keep in mind what you want, why you stopped eating sugars in the first place. Keep that in the front of your mind anytime you're around food. And then when you see a piece of cake, you'll think, nah, I'd rather be able to run a 5K someday. Or, no, my doctor says I'm almost diabetic, so probably shouldn't eat that piece of cake. That'll make me happy for 30 seconds. Because the happiness you will get from being able to walk upstairs and hold a conversation, or go shopping without your feet hurting, that is such a better feeling than the feeling of a slice of pie. It's such a more deeply rooted satisfaction. It's way better. Trust me, and keep your eye on that prize. Take your eyes off the sweets and look ahead to what you want and where you want to be, and stay on that path. Grab the reins and stay on the path. Keep it there, right in your mind, constantly. If you are overweight to the point where it is causing you serious health problems, this needs to consume you. I'm not saying that nutrition has to be your whole life or fitness has to be your whole life, but changing your habits to be healthier has to consume you for a while until they become habit. And keeping your eye on the prize is the best way to stay on track. Remind yourself, my body doesn't want this, my mouth wants this. I hope this helps. Any questions, leave a comment, subscribe for more, and make sure you do something today so that you wake up better off tomorrow. Thanks for watching.